Hey guys, welcome back to Think Beautiful, the channel where I talk all about Meghan Markle and all the dumb things she does. So here I am again with a new video for you. It's just another day, another video basically. But we had Meghan at Godmother's bookstore. She loves to go there and it's usually for self-promotion. So why would this be any different? She, of course, has painted it as something else, but I'm going to show you why this is a complete ad for As Ever. And I'm going to predict one of her upcoming products. Now, I'm also going to show you how Meghan thinks she's a complete expert with the microphone. Just because you love putting things up to your mouth, Meghan, doesn't mean you're an expert. Or maybe it does. I don't know. Anyway, when it comes to microphones, this should never happen. This scenario here with Meghan with a microphone in her hand should be illegal. It never does anyone any good, including Meghan, to be really honest, because as soon as she opens her mouth, people like me can come out and critique it, and it's way too easy. This was just like stealing lollies from a child. Not that you would do that. Meghan probably would, though, because she doesn't really like children. And I'm also going to talk about a bit of a lie that I found in this article. Now, first of all, she went to Godmother's, did her thing, and we got this in Daily Mail. Now, it really harps on about an interaction between Meghan and one of the guests at this event, but we'll get to that. Anyway, awkward moment. Meghan Markle interrupts bookstore speaking event to correct how her friend holds the microphone. Like, does that surprise anyone? Of course it doesn't. Now, this event, as I said, was held at Godmother's. I don't know what is wrong with this building. I can't put my finger on it. Maybe it's missing like the top part of it. It looks like it should be a church. It certainly sounds like it's a church, but it just gives me the icks. And you've got people like Oprah and Meghan Markle flocking to it. Something is going on here, in my opinion. I would not set foot in this place. I mean, I'm sure they don't want me anyway, so it's a win-win. But let's go through this article. Meghan Markle created a briefly awkward moment. I would argue the entire conversation was awkward on Thursday evening while speaking at an event held in a California bookshop. Is this the only bookshop in California, honestly? The Duchess of Sussex took part in an open table conversation. She loves a seat at the table at the Godmother's bookstore in Summerland in support of her close friend, Courtney Adamo. So remember that. She's a close friend, apparently. Now, Courtney, who co-founded the popular UK parenting blog Baby Chino Kid, had invited Meghan to participate in the event. So two things wrong so far in this article, Daily Mail. First of all, Meghan and Courtney are not close friends, because if they were, wouldn't Courtney have gone to the wedding? They're such great friends. They've known each other since school days. Well, when I check with my best friend, ChatGPT, there's no evidence she went to the wedding. Of course, Oprah went. She didn't know Oprah. She didn't know half the people. Amal Clooney, how's that relationship going? But she does say she's close friends with this Courtney girl. No evidence of that whatsoever. Now, the other thing it says here is that Courtney, who by the way was there to promote this book that she's written, this was like a book launch about her and her book, which of course became all about Meghan Markle. But it says here that Courtney invited Meghan to participate in the event. Absolute lie. There is no way that these coincidences happen. There are no coincidences with Meghan. She manipulates everything. Because, of course, we know that Meghan is very close to the owners of this bookstore. And here they are at the opening just a few months ago. Now, here she is playing mahjong, or this is just called love bombing or manipulating people, at her home. So the one on the left there is Jennifer Rudolph Walsh. she's a part owner. And the one on the right, there with the pink top, that's Victoria Jackson. That's the no makeup lady. She is the other owner of this bookstore. So I don't think Courtney has needed to invite Meghan. I'm pretty sure Meghan is right up there. Now, Meghan was never even mentioned on this bill. Why was that? And also, Oprah ended up hosting the following event. So you can see here, it's not a coincidence that Oprah and Meghan are both hosting events. This is organized by the bookstore guys. This is not Courtney. I'm sorry, Courtney, but who do you think you are? You're not organizing the host for this event, okay? So, first of all, that is a lie, and I just wanted to show that to you. Now, next up, of course, Meghan has to be the expert when it comes to using a microphone. So the article says that their discussion, so this was Meghan Markle, this was Courtney Adamo, and Victoria Jackson were up on stage, and their discussion revolved around Courtney's new family-focused interior design book, The Family Home: Inspiring Ideas for a Home Filled with Joy. So her book centers around how to make the family home inclusive of children, with play areas to encourage kids to be independent and that kind of thing. Now, obviously, Meghan's kids are completely independent because the parents are never around, but after the host introduced the event, Meghan just hijacked the event and told attendees she was so excited they were able to meet Courtney. I mean, you don't need to interrupt and say that. She's so rude. But as Courtney started to let the audience know how honored she was to be there, she was quickly interrupted by the former senior royal, why even say that, who unexpectedly took hold of her microphone, creating a briefly uncomfortable atmosphere. So, Courtney, like most of us, aren't used to talking in a microphone, let alone holding it up and talking into it properly. She's just a very kind of boho girl. She seems like an introvert, and she's not used to these speaking events. Meghan Markle, on the other hand, well, she's a seasoned professional. She does things better than the royals, according to Harry. So, as she started to talk, Meghan had to get her hand right across, as you can see, and pull the microphone up. It was ridiculous. It was so rude. Now, this girl is so lovely. She even said, "Oh, sorry," to Meghan. Like, this is the kind of behavior that Meghan continues to show us. And people are just so shocked by it that they end up apologizing to her. There is all kinds of things going on with this. Now, it gets even worse. And Meghan then went on to talk about a time where these two were meant to fly from LA to Chicago, but it was on the exact day of 9/11 when everything went really badly. And of course, they couldn't fly. Now, she shows zero empathy during this interaction, but poor Courtney tries to interject and tries to say something. Again, doesn't bring the microphone up to her mouth. Meghan, instead of trying to help her again, gets very frustrated and mocks her. Now, if you follow me on X, you'll be able to see the video that I'm talking about. I can't show it in this video, but you can certainly go and view it over on X, and I show you exactly what happened. It is so rude, and she clearly mocks her. So she actually whispers into the mic, which is basically making fun of what Courtney has just done because no one could hear her when she didn't have the microphone up to her mouth. You guys will be astounded at how she does this. I don't know why no one else is talking about this. Go and check out my ex and you'll see what I'm talking about. Now, of course, Meghan had to talk about the kids. It's that whole rose and thorn day thing. How was your day? How was your rose and your thorn? Blah, blah, blah. And Lily says, "Oh, my day was just a blast. No one cares." Of course, it's a blast. She's not around her parents. She's probably having a great time. Whoever her caregivers are, they're probably amazing. They're doing a great job. So, yes, she had a blast, Meghan. Don't be surprised by that. Now, they also talk about this garbage ritual that they have a healing blanket. So if the kids aren't feeling well, they get a healing blanket. Just give the kids a hug. Why aren't you there for the kids? You have to give them a blanket. I mean, this is just such a dumb story. No one wants to hear it. Now, the blanket was gifted to them by Victoria Jackson, so I guess they had to bring it up. But anyway, another garbage story and another reason for Meghan to bring up the kids. Keeping in mind, this event is not about Meghan. She's hosting the event, or she's just up on the stage to have a bit of back and forth banter with Courtney, who maybe isn't that great at speaking, I'm not sure. But she's talking about her kids again. Like, Meghan, give it a break. Now, as I mentioned, Meghan spoke about it being 9/11 and they couldn't fly on that day, obviously. I'm sure all the flights were grounded very quickly. So instead, they had to drive. So they were meant to go from LA to Chicago and they had to drive the 30 hours. So she talks about this. So the two of us ended up driving 30 hours over 3 days, 10 hours a day. Thanks, Meghan, for the maths there. From LA to Chicago, together at one of the most fragile, tender times in this country. Now, when I read that, I was like, Meghan, for goodness sakes, now you're just ripping off Kanye West. That is a Kanye song, you guys. That is his song, 30 Hours. Look at this, Chicago, St. Louis to Chicago. Underlay, EI. Uh-oh, you had me driving far enough to switch the time zone. You was the best of all time at the time, though. Yeah, you weren't mine, though, but I still drove 30 hours. I mean, everyone knows this song. Meghan is plagiarizing Kanye West. Can you believe that? Anyway, I'm a bit of a Kanye West fan from way back. Not anymore, guys. Don't freak out. But I heard that and oh my goodness, I had to just share that with you. But let's get back to this. This is not some kind of weird channel for me to sing on. And of course, this event is not a Meghan Markle event anymore unless she's serving her own wine, for goodness sake. So, of course, we have to know all about it. She's serving her beautifully crafted Sauvignon Blanc. Now, it's beautifully crafted because Meghan has absolutely zero input in this wine. It has nothing to do with her. It's being made well away from Meghan. It's being shipped without her intervention. The whole thing happens without Meghan even doing anything. So the wine itself is probably not bad, but of course it's toxic because it is branded with as ever, which is Meghan Markle. So drink at your own risk. Now, of course, Meghan is spruiking as ever, and I'm going to show you why. Because on 2 occasions, Meghan mentions fragrance. Now, that sounded very odd to me. I hadn't heard her say that before. Now, the first one is when she was talking about packing her suitcase. And she says here, first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is maybe go and check on your kids. Oh no, is to turn the music on in the house. Do you know how annoying that would be? And we know the type of music she likes. Oh, her kids must absolutely hate it. And when she's traveling with her family, which is never, she revealed that she takes a portable speaker along so she can continue the music routine as well as a scented candle. Did you hear that? She takes a scented candle and she bangs on about it even more. I always travel with a candle. Okay, I am so conscious and sensitive to fragrance, and I associate that with home. So, Meghan is now telling us that she takes a candle everywhere she goes when she travels with her family. Well, this is garbage, and I'm going to show you why. Because just very recently, she told us what she packs in her suitcase. You idiot, Meghan, you have already told us. Look at this. Town and Country, one of her faves, Meghan Markle reveals what's inside her suitcase, okay? So we already know, and we saw her packing it, and she was basically just treating us like idiots. Oh, this is how you do the zipper. Essentially, that's what it was. Now, these were the tips she shared in this article and at the start of this episode. I think it was maybe episode 7 or something like this. But these were her tips, okay? When you're packing, start at the bottom. Oh, that's what I'm doing wrong. I'm starting to pack at the top of the suitcase. Like, how is that even possible, Meghan? Have you heard of gravity? So stupid. Then she says, mix and match your clothes. She doesn't really do that. She wears like all the one color. I mean, mix and match your clothes. It's not really helping anyone. Of course, you mix and match. We're all plebs. We can't afford matching sets for every single thing we wear. The whole thing is a mix and match, Meghan. Then she says, stay fresh, which is pretty rich coming from someone who is sweating bullets all the time. But her other tip is personal items. And she listed the personal items that she always travels with. So, of course, this speaker and the candle that she always travels with, allegedly, that must be listed in this section. Let's take a look, shall we? Now, channeling another Japanese professional organizer, Marie Kondo, Meghan says she packs a few mementos that bring her joy. Among them, here we go, maybe it's a candle. Oh no, it's a black and white baseball cap that reads PH 40, right? This is a cap that she had made up probably on Etsy or something for Prince Harry. Why would you take that with you? That's so random. Anyway, apparently she needs it because she likes to go for a jog in the morning. I'm not sure she's jogging anywhere. But anyway, she also says here, she also always brings framed photos of her family. I just went on a girls' trip recently. My girlfriends were like, my God, that's so sweet. You keep it by the side of your bed. Yeah, you could look at your phone, but it's really, I don't know. I'm sentimental that way. Oh, I'm just so amazing. I'm so sentimental. I have zero empathy, but all of a sudden I'm sentimental. So it doesn't mention anything about a candle. I did not see that. This is made up. Now, as I said, she mentions fragrance a couple of times. The other time is where she says something along the lines of, oh, when I have friends come over, I just have like a hot toddy on the stove and they can just go and help themselves. Oh, and the fragrance, it really makes the house smell lovely. So all I'm hearing is fragrance, fragrance, fragrance. I also saw this reel come out and it's telling me to Dave the date. Now, for people that don't know what that means save the date. For people that could write normally, that's actually meant to be an S, not a D. But anyway, I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. We need to Dave the date, everyone, and because that looks like a candle to me. Now, I think that is from Emma Greed's Seat at the Table. She posted some images of that. They look like the same centerpieces, but she has zoomed in on the candles. So give me a break. She's suddenly mentioning fragrance and now she's posting pictures of candles. I have to think that Meghan is going to be releasing a candle. That is my prediction. I mean, it's probably the most basic thing you could ever release. I'm sure I could do one. But there you go. Meghan takes way too long to do anything. She makes everything look so hard. But there you go, guys. That was all about Meghan at Godmothers. It was just another event with Meghan with a mic in her hand. Like I said, this should never happen. I'm allergic to this kind of event. I would just love to be the person on the mixing desk to be able to turn that way down. I would put the volume down so low. And I'd love to see her get so flustered because I would not ever turn that up. But guys, thank you so much for listening. Please like and subscribe. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I have plenty more coming because you know she's going to do something ridiculous and I will be here to tell you all about it. But have a great day wherever you are. I will keep these videos coming. Have a good one, guys. Bye.